Alright, it's day 2 for me here on Mille Lacs, and looks like a pretty nice day. A little bit of wind blowing again, but it's definitely not the worst day I've ever seen out here. So, I don't know. Looks like we're going to have some cloud cover here most of the morning. It might break up and get sunnier towards the end of the day. I am planning on heading home here tonight, so I don't want to stay too late, but definitely going to get a good full day of fishing in. My goal today is kind of just to try and catch my biggest 5 bass limit. I really haven't done that since the first time that I came up here. I've spent a lot of time just looking for pre-spawn fish, looking for post-spawn fish, trying to catch the ones that aren't really on the beds, and just trying to learn, exploring, idling a lot. Well, today I think I'm mainly just gonna fish for spawners, the ones on beds, and just try to pick off the big ones. I might, throw a hair jig around. Yesterday I caught a few on a hair jig, so I'll probably kind of do that up shallow, but I just really didn't have any luck fishing, like offshore where you couldn't see bottom yesterday. It seemed like even the ones that I caught that weren't on beds were still in those same areas. They were just kind of cruising around, getting ready to do their thing. They were pre-spawn. So that's kind of going to be the goal today. I don't think there's a ton of post-spawn fish quite yet. The water's upper 50s, lower 60s, and I think that these fish are probably just starting to spawn, in my opinion, or they just started not too long ago. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go fish a completely different part of the lake than we did yesterday, but we're gonna try to catch the biggest 5 bass that we can. My all-time biggest 5 bass limit was all largemouth, and it was 24 pounds. So we're gonna see if we can go out and beat 24 pounds today. Well, I think if I weigh in 24 pounds even, then that would be my biggest limit, but I don't know. I think we'll be able to do it. It's gonna take a little bit of luck though, and we're gonna have to find the right ones. So let's see what we can do. But hey, we're out here on Lake Mille Lacs, giant smallmouth fishery. Let's get after it. Alright, area we're going to start out here this morning. See, it's still a little bit choppy, a little bit windy here. I'm going to just toss the hair jig around and just see. The water's 60 degrees right on the dot, so I'm hoping there's still some pre-spawners swimming around, getting into this area, and I'll toss that hair jig around and, just start looking for beds when we get into the calmer water too. But I'll turn the camera on here so you can see what I'm looking at. On the map here you can see all this shallow stuff. The green is like the depth that I'm looking for. So I'm going to kind of just come across here, and then on the side imaging you can see a lot of that rock starting to show up on both sides. Right there it's pretty small, it's kind of scattered. When I start seeing like some big boulders, some big chunks like that one right up there on the right, you start seeing some more of that stuff, and that's what I like to fish. It seems like those smallmouth, whether they're spawning or they're not spawning, they just love to get up and personal with those really big rocks. So that's what I've found has worked the best anyway. I'm no expert in this lake or smallmouth fishing by any means, but every time that I just find an area with some really big boulders and start picking it apart, I'm usually catching fish. So that's what we're gonna do. But we're gonna try to just get on the backside of these islands where maybe the wind is broken up a little bit, and see if we can find any. First fish of the day. It took a minute, but it is a big one. There we go. We're on the board. A nice big old Mille Lacs smallmouth. Get a weight on it and see what the first one of the day goes. All right, first fish is 4 pounds, right on the dot. Another big one incoming. Look at the shoulders on that one. Oh yeah, another hog. I found a little section in here that's got some big ones. That should be another 4 pounder. Let's get a weight on it quick. It's a 314, so just a hair, a couple ounces shy of 4 pounds. My scale does weigh him a little light too, I think, but that's a 4 pounder. Another nice one. This one ain't quite as big, but 3 pounder probably. Yeah, it's only a 2.5. Only. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a Mississippi River guy, and that's a tank. You catch it on the Mississippi River. It's a nice fish. Not here. We're gonna weigh it anyway. It's our 3rd fish for the day. We'll see where that puts us. 211, 2 3/4. Gonna need him to get a little bigger than that, but still a fun one. That's a big one. Oh, fell off. Freaking fell off. Gotta be kidding. Got her again. We'll use the net. Oh, there's 2 of them. The other one's swimming right alongside it. I think I got the bigger one of the 2. Either way, it's a pig. Look at that thing. Oh my goodness. Look at that fish. The other one was like the exact same size. Both just swimming together all the way up to the boat. That's just something you don't see everywhere. Man, what a pig though. Look at the gut on it. Nice gut. I gotta get a weight on that thing. That thing's gotta be like 4.5. It's a 4-1. So we got another 4 pounder. So with our one that was just under 4, that means we got 3 of them for 12 pounds, plus the one that was 2 3/4. What a tank though. All right, let's get her back. Look at that thing. Another tank. So far, everything that I've seen in here has been big. But that's another 4-pounder. One more of these and we'll be at 20 pounds for the day. That's pretty crazy. So many big fish in this place. It's unreal. It's a 315. So another 4-pounder. That's such a nice fish again. They look like the same fish over and over. They're all big. That's what you want them to look like. Man, that is sweet. That's just one of the healthiest smallmouth. I mean, just look at that thing. It's a football. Alright, another look here at that fat little pre-spawn smallie that we just caught. We're gonna weigh her here quick and then get back at it. Alright, that's an upgrade for us. I'm gonna reweigh it one more time. 3.5 though is what it said. Ooh, yeah, 3.5. Fat little 3.5-pound smallmouth. That's what you want them to look like right there. That might be big. Another one on the hair jig running at me. Not a giant, but another really nice one. Stay down. Oh, look at that thing. It's definitely going to be a little bigger than that last one, I think. So fat. These pre-spawn smallmouth are just ridiculous on this lake. Look at that thing. It's just a football. I mean, just so fat. I don't know if it is going to be any bigger. You can get a weight quick. It's really not that big of a fish, but it is just fat as heck. It came up and just smoked this hair jig. It is going to help a little bit. It hit 312, locked on 311. Locked on 311, but it did hit 312, so like I said, that scale usually weighs a little light. We'll call it a 3 3/4. That puts us a 1/4 pound short of 20 for the day. But honestly, if I can keep catching a few on a hair jig like this, these big fat pre-spawn fish, I'm gonna keep doing that. That's a fun one there. There we go. We are back on the board with another beautiful smallmouth. Get her back. Got one on the old hair jig on the very next cast. It is a little bigger than I thought. I thought it was really small, but got a little bit of size to it. Thanks, buddy. Oh, I got a giant on the hair jig. Giant. Yes. Yes. Oh, I caught a big old cruiser on the hair jig. Let's go. Cruising up here shallow. That was awesome. Look at that thing. That should be a 4, and that'll be the one to put us over 20 pounds for the day on a hair jig. Let's go. All right, there it is. That's a beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Great big one on the hair jig. We're gonna get a weight on it. It's gotta be a, I think a 315 to hit 20. We'll see if it just goes 4. .315 and 7/8. It was basically sitting on 4 for a little bit though. So we're gonna count it, 4-pounder, and that gives us 20 pounds for the day. 20 pounds with all 4-pound smallmouth. That is awesome. So fun. Pleasantly surprised with a giant smallmouth smoking this area. Got it. Oh, another pig on the hair jig. Look at that one. Beautiful bass. Gosh, just putting on a clinic with that hair jig today. I've usually caught a lot of little ones with it, but big ones are biting it today. All right, guys, my camera literally just died, and as I went back to try to get it to turn back on, I hooked up. Let me tell you what, these raptors, oh my gosh, they're incredible, keeping me locked into place. But we got a big fish on right now, and this one might add to our 20-pound bag that we got. Let's see if we can land it. Oh God, yeah. Let's go. Look at that thing. That is a pig. Oh, that's a little bigger than I thought it was. I saw 4.5. It's gonna, oh, 4.5. 4.6. All right, battery just died on that GoPro too, but it locked in at 4.6. So we're gonna call it a 4.5. Got her in the live well here. Just So I can let her go again, but that's crazy. Last stop, biggest fish of the day. Better get a picture with this one. All right, guys. It's been a heck of a trip, but we got a storm blowing in. It's 2:30 right now. I gotta drive all the way home. It's almost a 4-hour drive home. So I'll probably start heading back. I might stop, depending on what the wind is doing. I might stop and hit one more spot. But either way, it's been a really fun trip. Caught some big fish, and can't wait to get back again. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap up the trip this year to Mille Lacs. I shouldn't say this year, we'll maybe make it up again, but I don't know, it's kind of just become a yearly tradition to come up here and set the hook on some really big smallmouth. I caught a 5-pounder yesterday. My biggest today was a 4.5, and caught a handful of other 4-pounders. So, you know, over 20 pounds for me today. And like I said, that's with my scale that always weighs them light. I've weighed all my fish in and had like 12.5 to 13 pounds before, and then I weigh in 14.5 pounds in tournaments. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. But it's been a fun couple days here, and you know, catching some pre-spawn fish, catching some on beds, doing just a little bit of both, and you know, trying to learn the lake a little bit better and get my smallmouth game down just a little bit better. But we're gonna head back. I'm sure the boat ramp is gonna be busy here on Memorial Day weekend, but we're gonna get back and get loaded up and start heading home.